everyone, my name's Adele and welcome to Toadstool House Art. And I've got my lovely Pusheen autumn jumper on. I think I got this in one of the Pusheen boxes that they do where you would subscribe. You could buy them individually or you could buy like a year subscription. I did the year subscription a few years ago now, so I think I got 4 boxes. No, I actually got 5. Because there was an ordering mishap, and so they sent like as an apology, they sent everyone an extra box. And I think this is the main reason why I applied to it, because I love like the autumn sort of style of things. And I just found it out of a drawer recently because I was going through some clothes. So it's only a little wrinkly, it needs a press, but it's fine. So what I've been doing is packing more and more of these of my key rings. Yeah, it's just taking forever. So it's because there's so many and I don't want to sit for, usually I will sit for hours at a time doing something until it's done, but it's just the twisting of the pliers, it just hurts my wrists too much. So you know, I'd rather not hurt myself or not be able to work on stuff the next day. So I've just been doing it in batches. So I've got a pile just here that's getting bigger and bigger of these key rings. And yeah, what else have I been doing? Oh yeah, I've got my my next watercolour piece, and it's a very fluffy creature, and I am not used to doing anything with fur. Generally I don't paint a lot of furry animals. It is something I do need to practice, because you know, with watercolour though, you can build it up, and that's what I was able to do. As you'll see if you watched all my other watercolours, that's pretty much all I talk about, is going, oh, 1 layer, 2 layer, 3 layer, and you just keep building it up until you get what you want. So I've got that for you today. Some stuff I've been doing is I have been printing mugs like this. These are for my mum's business. I'll put a link down below to that. So I've had the printer out and the mug press out, because it's been sat for a while. It's fact just over here, and I'm gonna get it out myself soon because I want it for my designs. I think I mentioned it, how I want the little fairy house on a mug. I think the frog would look nice on a mug, and I think the design that I'm going to show you today would look nice on a mug as well. And I am going to film it. I know, I think I've promised this for like 2 videos now, that I'm going to film a mug printing video, and I will do. It's just when I get a bit more time after I finished all my watercolors, and then because I need to work on the sort of dining room table for that, because it's the only sort of place big enough, and it's got a nice heat-proof mat under the tablecloth. So I just take the tablecloth off and, you know, put the press on the mat, because the mugs come out quite hot. So I need to like sort of work out how I'm going to film it, because the only sort of like, I've got my ring light that you're sat in right now, but the only other tripod I have is this little thing, and as you can see, it's held together with tape. It actually broke, this piece broke off, and I was able to get it back on. But then my phone, I guess it's too heavy for it, and every time I put it down, the legs like splay apart. So that's why there's a bunch of sellotape around it. So it's not I've not got the most professional setup, really. But yeah, I think that's it. And yeah, thank you for coming. I hope you enjoy this vlog. So I did a swap with someone recently on Instagram called Enjoy Hope Art, and she sent me a bunch of beautiful things. She makes these absolutely lovely pins, because that's how I found her. I saw this pin. Isn't that cute? You can see we got the little freckles on the cheeks. And she sent me so much stuff that I wasn't expecting. And these earrings are absolutely adorable. They're tiny as well. And I think these little pegs, they're so cute. That's just such a cute way of displaying them. And she even sent me these little charms as well. And she makes these little resin gem pieces herself as well. Flip over. So she sent me 2 of those. She sent me the froggy one. She sent me this lovely sparkly one as well. and she even sent me this lovely strawberry patch. She says she makes these at work, like this is like her job, and it's just so cute. Even some stickers as well. So yeah, I just thought I'd share those with you. So she is Enjoy Hope Art on Instagram, and I've just finished packing up her little bits that I'm going to send off. I just need to pop them in an envelope because they are going all the way to Germany. I don't think it'll take too long, because when she said she sent me these, they arrived like a couple of days later. It was great. So hopefully it's not going to take so long to get back. So yes, thank you, Hope. I hope you like the things I send you. So this is the artwork that I was talking about. I decided to draw a Highland cow, and good thing is, as you can see here in Procreate, it has a symmetry function, so you can draw both sides at once. So I use that for the horn, the ears and the nose, just to get them nice and even, and then I drew sort of all the fluff just as I would. And I felt like it needed something a bit more, so I decided to give it this sort of flower crown. I didn't know what I was going to do at first. I was just going to draw, you know, just general flowers, what I could think of. And I was like, no, this is a Highland cow. It needs to have some thistles. So I've done this sort of thistle arrangement on his head. And then I'm taking it over to my light box to use a technique I've used before. You'll have seen me do it when I don't want to draw in the outlines first. I just want to paint the basic shape, and that's all I'm really doing here. And you can't really see it, but I could. And I'm basically just marking out where I'm going to paint later on. This means I don't have to worry about drawing all the lines first and then making sure I paint in the lines. I can do it the other way around. Oh, and here I'm just I'm just colouring it in with like a really light wash of a very light brown. And could I have used a bigger brush? Yes, and I should have, but I didn't. This part didn't really need the tiny brush. And I'm just going to add in a bit of shading at the bottom, just to differentiate where the head and the sort of the neck begins, and a little just a very basic shading underneath. And then I figured the easiest way to draw the fur would be to divide it into these chunks, so to make it into more manageable sections. And this helped like so much. You know, it stopped me sort of like getting carried away and making a mess with it. So then I came back with a slightly more sort of a gingery brown, and started painting in the sort of individual strands. And I just kept coming back with different colours to sort of build up the depth of colour and sort of how I wanted the fur to look, like show which direction it was going in. So I used pretty much every shade between sort of brown, or sort of gingery brown, and then later on I do use sort of a yellowy brown. And every time I felt like I was losing, anytime I sort of felt like I was losing the detail, I would go around with a dark colour just to bring those sections of fur back out, so they wouldn't get lost in this sort of big mass. Because as I've mentioned before, like when you shrink something down, details do get lost. And since this is going to be shrunk down to a little pin, you need to be able to see the details. So I'm just going around like now with a much darker brown, just to bring that detail back out, because the more you layer, the more sometimes you can lose sort of where individual parts are. And then I'm just colouring in his nose in sort of like fleshy and pinky colours, just keeping the shading quite minimal, because like I say, this is going to be quite small. So I'm just going to keep it relatively simple. As long as the shading's there, it should work. And then I went on to colour the flowers. So I can't remember what my those sort of bluish ones at the bottom were meant to be. I think I was thinking maybe lavender, but they kind of look a bit more maybe wisteria. But even though these flowers are small, and I mean like really small, you can see for this entire piece I've basically used the smallest paintbrush I have. Even though they're small, I still want them to have detail. So you'll see on most of the small parts, I don't paint right up to the edge. I leave a white highlight, not necessarily all the way around, but around a lot of the edge. Because I find if I paint all the way up to the edge, all the way up to the ink lines, things can get lost. It can look a bit too packed together and a little too messy. And it's a good way of shading with watercolor, is just leave that white highlight, and like here I'm adding in different shades of green so that all those leaves don't look the same, like the one like giant mass or anything like that. And then for the rose, I painted it sort of those like peachy coloured roses, but they're sort of like yellow on the outer petal, so I felt that sort of colour fit in nicely. And then I went around everything with my trusty Copic marker. It took a while to go around the fur. And I did use a darker brown pen and a tiny black pen just to bring out some of the detail in the fur, just so it didn't get lost. And there it is, all done, and I think it came out really good. Like, I'm really happy with the way I did the fur, because like I say, I am not used to drawing furry animals at all. But I think I managed it, and I'm hoping that when this does become a little pin, you'll still be able to see it all. So yeah, I'm quite happy with him. So I've got a bunch more done now. Really the only reason I'm stopping is because I've run out of hooks. I mean, I know I bought enough, and I think it's just that when I took the big rings off, when I took this part off, I think I only did so many, and I've worked through the pile that I've done. But I'm not quite sure where I left the ones with this still on. They must. It's probably on my desk somewhere buried. So yeah, this is as far as I've got tonight. It's like 10 to 11 now, so I'm like, do I put them on the backing cards? Or do I start getting ready for bed? I don't know. But I like seeing them out all like this. They're so colourful when they're laid out. Yeah. You know what? Maybe I'll put a few on backing cards or something. Because I am getting a bit tired now. Okay, so I went to grab my business cards out of my little box, and this is it. This is all I have left, and that is 6 cards. I have used them all in packages that I've been sending out, and a lot of them have gone to backing cards for these. So yeah, new plan. I'm going to bed. Because there's no point me turning these into backing cards, because I need these for any orders from my shop that are just badges, because you see the badges are on these smaller cards that don't have my information on. So if someone orders badges, I put a business card in for them. With these I don't really need to, because it's got one on the back. So yeah, I need to order some more. So I mean, they've gone a long way already, because I got 100 and I got them from Awesome Merchandise, and they're really nice. They're quite thick. They're and they're probably, I would say, better quality than Vistaprint, because that's where I bought before, and they are. I always say Vistaprint is fine, and it is, like, but that's all it is. It's just fine. But yeah, these came from Awesome Merchandise. This is the first time I've ever ordered anything off them. And now I think I better go order maybe 2 or 3 times as many. So I am going to feed my cats and go to bed. So I'm going down to the post office. I have a few Etsy orders, and I need to take my my package for the swap I'm doing with Hope. So I'm going to do that now. The weather keeps changing, so I'm either going to get sunburnt or wet. Who knows? So I'm really happy with how this came out. I think he looks so nice, and just I think this design is going to be really good for me to print on things, because I think that is going to look really nice on a mug. And because it's symmetrical, I'm probably going to be able to print it on a bunch of other stuff too. Like quite a few vlogs ago now, I did that wall hanging for a friend. Like, I'm pretty sure that one of those, because it should fit quite nicely in that sort of pennant shape. So yeah, so I'm thinking of printing that. And I don't know why, but I kind of got it in my head that I couldn't like do anything with these watercolors until I've got all 5 of them done and sent them off to be made into badges. I'm like, why? I've done them. they're literally done. and I'm working on taking off the background with that. I just in Procreate I choose the eraser tool and take off all the white around the edge, because I find that when if I go into Photoshop and I click select, it's not quite as precise as I would like it, so I do it all by hand, which takes a long time. But yeah, I was just thinking about it. Why not start printing on stuff? Why do I need to get these pins back before I can start using these designs? I don't know. So I'm thinking this one, definitely that one. I think that one's gonna look lovely on a mug. Because like I mentioned, like if someone like just moved into a new house, that could be a nice gift on a mug. I mean, I am super biased because I really like this one, because it's such a nice solid shape as well. So I think that one is also going to print on a few things. The bee is a maybe. I think this will print nice on things, like, cause I know I can get pencil cases. I think that might be like a nice design to put on a pencil case or a purse. But I will see about that one, because like it's very much not symmetrical, so I have to see how well it fits to like go on a mug. Cause the mugs I want to try first. And of course I gotta do my little frog because I love him. So I might keep one of those for me. So yeah, if I get time, it will be the next vlog, if not the one after. Should be okay though, because I think I mentioned it before when I printed one of these, one of these autumn ones for my mum's business. I sort of not serviced the printer, but kind of got it running again, because it's been sat doing nothing, and when a sublimation, the inks tend to like clog up the machine a bit. So if you leave it sat somewhere and then you take it out again to print, it takes like it's like an hour just to get it to print properly, so you don't get any lines across, because if there's any marks, any lines in the print, that is what you're going to get on your mug. So yeah, so I've done all that now, because it had been sat for a while, so it should be usable. Although every time I get it out, I will do a print test just to be sure, because sometimes it will print things a bit too pale the first time as the ink's been drawn through, and then it'll print it properly the second time. So I always print a few things off just on scrap paper first, and then carry on with that. So yeah. And yeah, I feel better about having done this now, about painting fur, because I'm just not, I mean, I'm still not used to it, but I do feel like from doing this I learned a lot, like dividing the fur up into manageable sections, made it so much easier, because I've tried before and it just ends up with a mess. It's like I did it with like a Cousin It type look, which is not what I want. And I think this technique, especially this separation of the strands, will hopefully translate. So when this comes out to about that size, it still should be, very much readable. You could tell that it's, it's a fluffy little cow. So yeah, I think he's good. I think he's adorable. So yes, and other than that, the only thing I think I haven't shown is I've just been packaging orders, which has been great. It's nice to know that people are liking the things in my shop, and I can't believe I haven't added in any new products yet. I mean, it's been like what, 2 weeks since I had my shop open? I'm not sure. I've lost track now. So yeah, I need to put more things in there. So if I can get these on some mugs, and then I've got to photograph them and everything, and hopefully those can go up. And yeah, because I need more stuff in that shop. Christmas is coming up. I don't want to miss that window, because obviously that's like the most popular time for like products to sell on Etsy. So yeah, I got to think like a business person now. Right, so thank you for coming by. I hope you enjoyed today's vlog, and I will see you next time. Bye.